Are you time poor? Are you super busy, but just don't have the time that you want to do the things that you want? To spend the time on the business or on your family or with your children, or quite frankly, just doing things you enjoy? If that's the case, then I'd recommend that you watch the rest of this. You know, for me, what I find is that busy, successful people, the greatest resource that they lack is time. And I want to tell you a story because I believe I've got the solution for you. The solution to give you back your time. But the irony is, it's going to take the very thing that you lack, time, to get more free time. Let me explain myself. So it was 2011. I'd been running a business for nearly 10 years myself. My attitude in life is to always work harder than anyone else. It's been my strategy. So at school, I worked harder than anyone else. I wasn't the most intelligent. University, the same thing. And I always would aim to win. On the rugby pitch or on the sports field, I wasn't the most talented, but I was always the fittest. It was my attitude to winning. And when I started a business, I just worked harder than anyone else. But I hit a ceiling of complexity. I was working 6-7 days a week. I just couldn't work any harder. And I came across a gentleman called Roger Hamilton. And I got invited to this session. I sat down with him and he literally said, "Scott, I've got the answers for you. You need to join my mastermind." And I was like, "Well, how much time does the mastermind take?" And he said, "Well, 2 hours a month with me, and then there's some other activities that you need to do around it. So maybe 3 to 4 hours a month." And I was like, "I don't have the time to do that." And he said, "Well, if you don't have the time, then 10 or 20 years from now, we're going to be having the exact same conversation. You're going to be working as hard, getting limited results or the same results as you're getting, and you're going to have no time." He said, "Or you could do it differently." It's that whole Einstein theory of, the definition of insanity is to expect different results while doing the same thing. He said, "You have to do it differently." And so that really resonated with me. I committed, I joined the mastermind, I connected every single month with him. I got the strategies, the lessons, the techniques, and I implemented them. And how I implemented them was he held me accountable with group accountability. There was a group of us that met every single month, once a month, and that just created predictable momentum. And when I look back on it, it had such a definitive and impactful thing on my life that I ended up being part of that mastermind for over 10 years because of the impact that it had. And it gave me back my time. It helped me to build a team. It helped me to enable people and systems so that they could go out and actually help. And what was really interesting is that, fast forward 3 or 4 years later, I was on the island, Necker Island, with Richard Branson, and I sat with him, and there's a man that's got 400 companies, 8 of them billion-dollar companies. He does all of this charitable work. He's a great husband. He's a great father to 2 kids. He does all these crazy adventures. He sponsors a huge amount in a purposeful way. I mean, if there's anyone that should be time poor on this planet, it was Richard Branson. But everything that mastermind taught me with Roger enabled me to understand what Richard was doing and to implement it. So if that's something that you want, and you want time freedom, then I strongly recommend that you click on the links below. Come along to one of our workshops. Invest 2 days of your life, 2 days to get what you want. Because if you actually set up your portfolio, if you set up your assets to be working for you, if you optimize your assets so that they're making money while you sleep and it's providing you with passive income, then you have the ability to make choices. Then you have the freedom to choose what you want to do with your time. But the irony is, it's going to take time to set yourself up for success so that your assets can work for you. So come along to one of our workshops, join the Wealth Hackers if you want. Do something. If you think that the mastermind is right for you right away, well, apply to join the mastermind. Come and work with me in the family office and we will set you up for success. It takes about 3 to 4 hours a month and we will literally set you up. And then what the irony is? The number one reason that people do not join the mastermind, they know it's right for them, is that they say they don't have the time. And I literally say to them, this is the key to unlock the time freedom you want. And so that's the dynamic. If you enjoy this, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. Most importantly, whatever you do, take action to get back your time. And what's it going to take? It's going to take a time investment up front, just like I did, that will then give you the time that you want with your family and friends. I hope that helps. I'll see you next week on the next Weekly Wealth Insight. Cheers.